Susan sits at her desk. Her cheeks are still puffy, and her eyes are still red. She stroked her left arm, where her husband had forcefully dragged her back to the house last night. Her husband's words and angry face still lingers. She so wishes that she could talk to someone. But who can I tell, she thought. So she got up from the desk and walked to the tea room, wanting a breather. Sitting in the room was the supervisor, Libby. Libby noticed the tear marks on Susan's face, so she asked, "Hey, Sue, is everything okay?" Susan was surprised. She was afraid that her supervisor might think otherwise about her as an employee, so she started talking about work-related issues. Libby listened, but she felt there was something else going on, so she invited Susan to sit down and ask her what actually happened. Susan took a deep breath and told Libby about the incident last night. Libby gave Susan a gentle hug and told her to have the half-day off. Susan did not expect that. She wiped her tears and smiled. She felt this big weight had been lifted from her. This story is based on one of the true stories from my interviews. The names in the stories have been changed to protect people who are involved. Literature says that the compassion is a process. It starts by we noticing someone suffering and feeling of empathic concern. And driven by that feeling, we respond in actions. But in reality, this process often falters. In my research, I discovered that the primary cause of this is the uncertain feeling from both parties. Like Susan in the story, as an employee, she does not know how her supervisor might think of her. Libby also, on the other hand, would have her own concern about her job responsibilities or worrying about being too personal at work. Therefore, I had participants telling me that they're stuck in this awkward position of knowing someone is suffering, but could not take the step forward to start a conversation. But interestingly, when asked about what would you think is the best way to do when you notice someone is suffering, without failing, all participants were able to tell me the almost perfect description of compassion interaction process. Thus, when it comes to compassion interaction, it's not a question of how. Compassion is embedded in all of us, and we need compassion at work. Numerous studies have acknowledged the benefits of compassion, including strengthening relationships, increasing emotional resilience, better well-being, and increasing work performance. When push comes to shove, courage is the breakthrough in compassion interaction. Libby pushed through Susan's initial response and her own doubt. She showed Susan that she genuinely cared for her. Sometimes the idea to suffer with someone can be scary, I know. But can I encourage you to do so? Because it is important for that sufferer to know that they're not alone in that place.